Alright, I'd like to call the meeting of the Plainfield Board of Education to order tonight, October 10th at 7 p.m. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have the minutes of the consent agenda from the September 12th, 2018 meeting. The only thing that I wish to note in the consent agenda is it says Plainfield High School Library. That was the one where we met in the auditorium. So,
Where was it?
Over there, where that chair is, and almost where that camera is, and
Over
another
there.
one over here.
But we would have been safe.
No, no. They also set it up differently.
So I'd be looking for a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
So moved. I will second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right, communications. There are no communications this month. So moving on to personnel. There are no resignations or retirements this month. So we will just move right on again to appointments. Mr. DePietro.
So I am pleased to report to you that we were successful in interesting Carolyn Mitchner, a speech-language pathologist who was working in a private agency for services and was very interested in moving to Plainfield for the size and capacity that would also give her the professional opportunity to stretch and perform the services at a full-time position. Because she was working in Rhode Island and needed to come to Connecticut, Connecticut just has a delay in accepting the reciprocity, as well as speech language has to have the health agency approve her speech language certification. So it's two certifications, one through the speech language and one through the department. She was able to secure that, and the effective date returns back to, I believe it's 9/12 that I had of record.
9/14.
9/14 is on her front page, correct? And I believe that on the inside of the Connecticut Department of Ed, it said 9/12 was applied for. The nice thing about the Department of Ed is they go back to your application date, which, so it would make her retroactive to 9/12/18, and I certainly recommend to you, she is doing an unbelievably very, very good job for us in the short time she's been working, and she is a great addition to our staff, much needed. So I do recommend that you accept her appointment as of September, retroactive to September 12th.
All right,
I move that we accept Carolyn Mitchner for speech language.
motion's been made
Second.
and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right, a request for leave. Mr. DePietro.
Okay. I always try to coach a bit on the fact that because a leave represents either a medical or a personal reason, we ask that the board review what is in front of them and that there is a request for a leave, and that you award to Olivia Tiskevich her request for the leave. I can't tell you that a leave that has any extension of time does take a Board of Education action in addition to the superintendent's. So I do recommend that the leave be granted, and I ask that you just accept the request of Olivia Tiskevich for a leave without being the details of her choice for that.
Is this the math teacher that was
No, this is a preschool
oh,
educator
never mind.
at Shepherd Hill.
So moved. Seconded.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Much appreciated.
All right, public forum, district website demonstration.
They've been waiting.
So, Chris and I and Andy.
Introduce yourselves a
Oh,
bit.
sorry. I'm Chris Overdorf, the Data Manager for the district. We've been working over the summer, putting the website together, compiling the district website along with each school having their website. And we like to show you, starting with the district, what we've done.
Yes, I
It's
may.
a little bit blurry. There we go.
Better?
Good.
So what we've done is we've tried to bring everything into a category that makes sense, kind of uniform across the board. And everybody has a home page that looks like this. Upcoming events feed off the calendar. And in the calendar, we're able to put information where we meet. We're able to add files or PDFs to it. And Chris, can you go down to November 21st? We're also able to, if a parent clicks in there, it says click in here to look at dismissal times. We're able to put a message in there where people can see, okay, these are the dismissal times of the school, so they would know. And then we have quick links. So if we go down, every website has this format. No matter which website you go to, all the links are the same. So if we click on athlete, here we have the two schools that have athletics in them, Central and High School. You want to click on Central School? And it goes out to Central School where people could look at the visiting teams, what fall, winter, springs, and it gives them the dates of the events. You want to go back? And then we have budget. And budget is the current budget of the year. So people would be able to download the PDF and look at our operating budget for the school district. We also have bus routes in there. It does take a little bit to get out to Jacko, so I don't want to go out there. And we do have the lunch menu. So if you go into the lunch menu, it takes you out to the NutriSlice, and you can pick the school, and you can see breakfast or lunch on the menu. And what's great about being able to link to those sites is that whenever they make changes, we don't have to make changes, it's automatic. And then we have 3 articles of what's happening. And so each school will have a place to display anything that's going on in their school, or we can display what's going on in the district. This was a Plainfield Memorial School. We have the recognition dinner down here for Paul Godowski. Nice pictures, thanks for the pictures. So we're able to breeze through that, and we're able to communicate to the public, hey, this is who we are, this is what's going on. All right, you want to go to calendar? So what's nice about the calendar in our website is that we have the district calendar and then we have the school calendar, but parents, can you click into the calendar? Just hit calendar. Yeah. Parents have the ability to actually sign up for alerts. So if the school makes a change or cancels a movie night, they can sign up and get the alert right on their phone. Hey, we canceled movie night, or hey, we have a half a day or early dismissal. They'll get right onto their phone and their calendars.
And they can sign up by single school or multiple?
Yes, they can. And the district calendar carries out through all school websites. So when they look on the calendar, they'll not only see the school events, but they'll have the district calendar as well. Board of Education, please. So in the Board of Education, we put a spot where we could have board goals. So as you think of your goals, we would like to put them up there so the town can see, hey, this is their goals for the year. We left this spot blank. You want to put it there? Left it so you can tell us how you want us to format that for you. Okay? And We have the meeting minutes. We have multiple years out there and files. So if you're looking for a particular school year, you can go back and look at all of the meeting minutes. And of course, the policies. Policies? Nope. We rehearsed this, really. So we have all the board policies up here, and they're all streamlined, so you don't have to go down this huge list of policies. You can drill right into where you want to see and look for the policy, and then it'll bring up the PDF of the policy. And then we have staff directory. So the staff directory, you go in there, the contact listing is, we are now connected to Active Directory, which is our email system. So these will update as people come and go, and there's no maintenance really for us on the website. And if you need to email one of your teachers, you can just click the link and it'll pop up an email. Yeah. And then we have what's called staff resources underneath the staff directory. And so we have webmail, staff forms, fundraising, all of that information that they need. All of these are also listed on the school website, so then if they just want to subscribe to Moosup Elementary and not have to come out to the district, the forms are right there as well. And then we have resources. So the community wants to know what's going on. We have the school lunch, even though we have the lunch button over here. We still left it over there. They asked the family portal, payment plus, contracts, and the bottom one you'll hear from her in a few. So let's show them.
Shepherd Hill.
Yeah, Shepherd Hill. So Shepherd Hill, you'll see the banner scroll through. We have pictures of students up there. And again, you'll see that we have the same upcoming events. We have, the same quick links. We have 3 articles of what's going on, what's happening. There's our new principal, Kristen Trahan, PTO, family newsletter that's gone out. So there's a lot of great things happening, and it's quick and easy to find. You want to go up to the menu? So each school, wanted to stay consistent. So as you have children move through the district, or if you have children at multiple schools, you're going to the same spot looking for the same stuff. And so we have the home, news, calendar, for parents, for staff, for students, and then again, the staff directory is the active directory, but it's only going to give you the staff in that school, as opposed to district-wide. So if you'll be here. News, we have about us, they'll get a newsletter. They happen to have a nurse's corner. Daily schedule, parents want to know what's going on in the daily schedule. They're able to click on that and say, oh, okay, today they have art or whatever. And then we put in a nice photo gallery of Shepherd Hill. The for parents, this is great because they'll always know, I gotta go there to find out anything I need to know about a parent, whether it be the portal, the student handbook. This is a PBIS information, PTO, library, health forms, and then My Payment Plus, which is paying money for your students' lunch. For staff, staff can use the district, or they can just subscribe to their page. And again, they have all of these tools right there in one spot for them. For students, we are building out the classroom pages, but they would be able to go into preschool or grade 1, and I know in Central School they upload the homework to these class pages. And then contact school gives them information, easy to contact, who's who, and email information. And a map. The nice thing we have, the tool that came with this website is, you want to show them the variety of the formats. When we put an article up, we can actually tell what it's going to look like versus a PC or a tablet, desktop, or a tablet. It conforms to the device. and then what it's gonna look like on your mobile phone. So each of the websites will conform to the device that you have.
You got more thumbs up coming.
Which I thought was great, because we can also test that. So if we build a new page, we can say, how does it look? Does the format fit? And if it doesn't, we can adjust it before we even publish it to the public. And the great news is, these websites are going to allow us to bring an app to Plainfield Public Schools. So when we can say we have an app for us, it'll be coming in 4 to 6 weeks. It takes that long to get through the Google Play Store, believe it or not. But moving to a new website developer allows us to go into an application.
We don't have to develop for multiple platforms. As you can see, we just develop for one. We provide the content for the main desktop view of the web page. And when you have the app, it'll automatically push the content down. It just changes the view. We don't have to do anything on our end. So very simple.
Very simple. Okay. And I'd like to show you, let's go to and Moosup Elementary, same format. You'll find, if you visit all these websites, whatever was in for parents and the previous school is under there. Same exact information. There's Bill Nagel, there's Moosup.
Nice shot.
Yeah. They have some makerspace partnerships, if you want to scroll down, and some PTO. So I think it's a great tool, and if you click in and read more, you'll get to read about the school, and I think it's a great communication piece for the public. And let's go to Memorial. And Memorial School, same format. The banner, we've gotten some pictures there of the Memorial Killing League, which is great. So if you want to scroll down. And if you get a chance, scroll down one more time. Right in this, there's a nice video, a nice thank you video from PMS. So take the time to go there and view the video. It's really moving, very touching. And there is our agenda contest winner for Memorial. And again, you see the consistency through the district as far as quick links and calendar. And we have PCS. Central Middle School, same thing for parents, except for under 4 students. Starting at the Central School, we actually get them logging on into Aspen to use their assignments like if they were at college. So they can upload their assignments, they can communicate to the teacher can communicate back to them on their assignments, and they can also see their grading. So they always know, or even you as a parent can always know if assignments are missing or who their grade, that kind of stuff. And so that is our new website that will go live by morning.
One question, the town website says that all the meeting agendas and everything are available through the school website. Where would we be able to find the agendas for the meetings?
So on the district page, under Board of Ed, we would have the meeting minutes. But we also, if you go to calendar, on the calendar where it says the Board of Ed, go drill into the calendar. Drill down into the meeting. We would have the agenda posted in there as well.
Click on it.
I don't know if we've gone to that. Did you do it? Oh, yes, your
Oh,
agenda
there
is
it
right
is.
there.
Agenda for today.
Click on it.
So go ahead and click
Is
on
that
it.
our agenda tonight?
That is your agenda tonight.
We knew better.
And it passes.
We knew better.
I'm happy to be
Try to
wrong.
see if everything
No.
So,
Now,
We practiced. We listened.
yes. Yeah, we listened. We wanted to know everybody comment on the other side or the needs of each of the schools. So we thought this format would fit all of us best.
How do we
And
access it?
Huh?
How do we access?
Access it would be the same as you did the old site, plainfieldpublicschools.org. And then from there, you would have our schools, and you'd be able to go to each of the schools.
The other one discontinues in the next couple of days.
We shut it down yesterday, so start the migration, and then after this meeting, Chris and I are gonna turn them on, and it'll take about 30 minutes to refresh. And when people go on in the morning, they will see it.
But it's the same address you said, right?
It's the same exact address. We own the address. We changed the platform.
So parents can access what the child's missing.
Yes.
What if, I mean, there's gonna be passwords, that be password
They do.
protected, so, you know,
Yeah.
the neighbor can't see what the child's missing.
Right, so we have, Aspen is our student information system, and as parents register their children with our district from pre-K on, I send them log-on security codes. Log on, create your account, and only they can see only their child.
Okay.
And so it's linked through portal access, through contact to their child only.
And if I want to contact a teacher just from the directory, can I just click on that and then?
You can, and it'll open up in your email, whatever you use for email, and it'll have their line, and you will just type an email away.
And so someone could contact the board member directly as well?
Yeah, you wanna do,
Yeah.
let's pass the email. So if you're looking for a contact? Yes.
You're not in there.
There's a reason for that.
The reason I ask is because we all got like official school email addresses.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I never
that's the
use mine,
problem.
I can't even access it. So if someone were to click on me, not that I'm asking anybody to do that. You know, I don't know that I'd get it.
So that's an easy functionality. If you wanted that, we would just put the contact information for the board.
We can check it out
Go to
ourselves.
the board for education.
It's
And
not-
they're there. No,
Here?
yep, there. So what we have here is,
I think you've been worked out.
so we do have your Plainfield school email here. If it's not working or you can't access it, is that the issue? Would you
Yeah.
prefer to do, I don't want to put up your personal emails up on the web.
Without our permission.
Yeah, and that would be a good
That'd be
idea.
really,
Okay, all right.
yeah.
So we'll have to figure out how we can fix those. so
We
we
can work with,
Yeah.
we can work with Andy Pardon too, to, if you wanted it forwarded to another email.
We could do that. That would be best and if you say, they have this email forwarded to this, that would be best. So then this is the public base.
Yeah, I don't want to follow it.
Because what happens, you'd be monitoring two different emails. You may not choose to monitor and say, I wrote to you a week ago, you didn't get back to me. So we can try to make the bridge.
That'd be any part of me.
Yeah, you can
Yes.
just contact me, that's
Yeah,
fine.
we'll just give him the one you want, and then he'll link it.
Not use this one.
Yeah, you're fine.
That's fine.
Any other questions?
I think this is good.
Well, I hope you enjoy your website.
I like it.
Thank you.
I'll log on for it.
I do need you to, and I know you're already representing that, thanks, but these two and all of your administrators worked to produce this. We started in May finding out that the state was going to reduce by $200,000 the money that they were giving to us, which was a challenge for us. We made a lot of reductions, but we didn't want to hurt students, so we wanted to make sure all our programs were there. We found out on August 14th that Plainfield Memorial School had a huge crisis of fire. We started the year and we were down some staff that we've been chasing after. We're still down a special education director that we're in the process of looking for. But to all of those challenges, you'll notice that you set some goals, and one of the goals the board had is to have a more responsive and transparent district website, so people would feel that there is a place they can go to and get the information, and ultimately you'd like to see an app where it'll push out. I think the students will probably put on the app more than even parents, but just to see if they can find out what's going on and get their calls. It'll even give you announcements about snow. That will also come to as a push through on an app.
Also, we're moving to this website, it allows us to be ADA compliant.
Yes.
We were not in our previous website, so in January 2018, we were in Buchanan as a school district, so this is the first time.
If a parent already has a push on their phone for snow days and stuff like that, will they need to renew it with this, or will it still be there?
They don't have to push through us.
Okay. When you send out a thing in the
That
morning.
school messenger, that goes out through a different.
So that's.
That's a different one, that's a robo phone call, and they will still get that.
Yes.
Because not everybody will choose to have the app, but everyone needs to know this is one of the primary responses, especially for emergency or snow closing. So they'll get both, but this one is by their choice. The other one is, we ask them when they register. They deselect on the school messenger, they actively select on this one.
All right. If there's no further questions, moving on to public forum. At this time, is there anyone that would like to address the Board of Education? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to student representative reports. We have our 2 student representatives with us tonight.
So I'm gonna go first. So only good things happening. We had the SATs today, so seniors took the SATs and freshmen, sophomores, and juniors took the PSATs, and that went well. It was a long day, but it was worth it. A lot of good things with sports. So girls soccer is 8-1 now. They're doing very well in a harder division than the past 2 years. Athletes of the week, so there's the ECC like athletes of the week, and last week I believe it was Madison Kelly won, and that was I think one of the first ones. And then also this week there's a soccer girl, Izzy Newberry, who is, I think she might be winning it. They pick them tomorrow, and Kyle Hall also for football, which is good that there's a lot of Plainfield athletes in there. The football team is also doing very well with their hard teams. And then NHS events. So the past couple weeks, there's been very good things. And we had the high school did the movie night with the Newsies movie, and that was all going to the Memorial School, the money for that. And it was very good, the movie. I'm excited for the play. And the NHS, there's supposed to be a paint night in a few weeks. And then also a lot of Halloween things. There's a trunk or treat, which usually happens, I believe, at the town hall. So kids can go there and trick or treat instead of going to houses. And there is also at the Haber Inn, there's like a haunted trail that we're gonna volunteer at, and that should be fun too. Vinny?
So we had the blood drive the 26th of September. That went well. Almost every appointment was filled up as far as people going to donate. There wasn't much issue with people signing up for it either. They were all about it, so that's really good, getting to, save some lives. We got homecoming coming up October 20th. We did the Starry Night theme. Student council is still talking about that. Got this whole idea of a projector with stars going up and a bunch of cool ideas for the kids. And band's got some competitions. So we have, they got the Yamaha Cup this coming up October 13th, and then after that, the week after, it's the Fitch competition, October 20th, and then finally states on October 27th, which we seem to do well, so let's hope we can take that one again. As far as music, we have Cal Patty Bingo. That's a big one where you get a chance to win the $1,000, and if it poops on your square. And there's also the details of if it goes in the middle of the square or hits 2 squares and all that good stuff. There's the basket raffle. We got games there for the kids and concession, and the trunk or treat as well. And the chamber choir is going to Carnegie Hall this November 9th, 9 through 11. So that's going to be a fun time. I will be on that. Nice. And yeah, try and having a meeting in October. The Music Honor Society is having a meeting about Cal Patty, going over the details, making.
All right, moving on to old business. Fiscal year 19 budget and facilities report. Mr. Lucier.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. It's good news right now. We have no odd expenses incurred over the last month. Anything that's been coming in over our budget lines are due to the PMS currently transition. And I have been in contact with the Kerma Claims adjuster, and at his suggestion, he asked that I submit a request for $100,000 to help offset the costs that we've incurred to date, which happened to have been $24,000 in labor and $36,000 in miscellaneous transition costs. Those two lines together are $60,000, which account for what we call transition, which is our move up to the PMS Cleveland location. Beyond that, the cost incurred to date is $78,000 for property claims, which is the computer, the interactive TVs, systems that we are using up at the PMS Cleveland site that will be coming back to this site. Our insurance is broken into two components. One is transition and one is the property claim. We're limited to $500,000 on the transition costs, and as I just indicated now, we are only at $60,000 of that $500,000. We do anticipate our busing to be somewhere in the area of $250,000 to $300,000 by the time we're done with our use of the PMS Cleveland location. But as you can see, the $300,000 and the $60,000 keeps us well under the $500,000 limit. So we're in pretty good shape there. I've been in discussion with Mr. Kudelski, who has indicated to me that most of the transition costs have been posted. I believe the only thing that's happening now is just regular day-to-day costs, which go against the general fund, just as if they were working here at the PMS Plainfield site. We are well under our property claim. As I said, we have $78,000 claimed there. Property claims can go upwards of $3 million, and we do not expect the school reconstruction to be to that level. So, other than the $2,500 that we have for a one-time payment against our insurance, we're in pretty decent shape right now. So I am waiting for Mr. Suprin, the claims adjuster that spoke at our last meeting, to get back to me. I've submitted all my reports at his request with all the purchase orders and labor sheets and everything else that tie directly to the numbers I just reported to you. Our auditors are in district. They will be coming to the business office tomorrow to review various accounts, the school activity accounts, food service accounts, and all the other things the auditors do. I don't foresee any issues this year. We seem to be doing well. On the facility side of things, since we've had all the rains this last month, as you know, we had some leaks here at the high school, which caused us to move to the auditorium. I've spoken with Mr. Hanson. He's had our crew do a review of the roof, and I don't know, and I don't want to put you on the spot here. Has he reached out to a roofing company? He has. I thought I had an email from him saying he was doing that. This particular flat roof area has been troublesome to us, and he is currently reaching out to local contractors to see what they can do to rectify our situation here. The other location that had some leaks was over at Shepherd Hill. Mr. Wilcox has reached out to the roofing store and to Bazinet Construction. Both those companies had worked on the roof over the last few years. They gave Mr. Wilcox advice on how to do some minor repairs to the flat roof section over the cafeteria, which is one area of leak. It was too small of a job for Bazinet to come out and do, but at the suggestion, Mr. Wilcox and his team could handle that. So that was nice on Mr. Bazinet's part. The roofing store is coming back out to review the gutters and downspouts, I believe. And there was an area on the roof that did leak in the heavy rains. I believe it's got to do with some trim work. There's not an integrity issue with the roof. Everything's fine. It's just because of the torrential rains and it just leaked. So the roofing store will be out to rectify that situation. The next component of the budget and facility report is a request for you, the board, to approve transfers. I have reconciled the budget, and there was only 3 lines that needed reconciliation. It was the certified salaries account, and the non-certified salary account, and the tuition line. As you know, when we build our budget, we put expectations of retirements into the budget, and the hope is that when someone of a higher pay grade leaves, someone new comes in and they are a lesser pay grade. still giving us the quality work, but being a new person, they have a lesser salary. It so happens that that did not happen this year. Some of the positions that needed to be filled required people that had extensive skills, and as a result, I needed to put $100,000 into the certified salary line. This is coming from our non-certified salary line, $83,000, and from our tuition placement line, $27,000. I reviewed all our tuition placements this year. As you know, we have a new program at the ECC building, and with the new placements in the program at ECC building, we could cut back on our outplacement tuitions by the $27,000. So this, coupled with the $83,000 in a non-certified salary line, which happens to be the paraprofessional pool, we've adjusted hours, and through attrition, we had the ability to save $84,000 in that line. So those three lines are the ones that are being touched. I haven't touched anybody else's expenditure lines, equipment lines, nothing. Just the three lines have been touched: certified salary, non-certified salary, and tuition. So I'm asking the board to approve the transfer of the three line items.
All right, so I'm looking for a motion to authorize the transfers of the 3 line items.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, status of Plainfield Memorial School.
So let me have the public aware of the fact that there are 4 stages of the challenge that we face with the fire damage to Plainfield Memorial School. First stage is called containment, and that was done within a very short amount of time. In terms of the building had to be secured, they had to start sealing a roof because water could continue to rain and get access to the interior of the building. That was sealed within days. There then is a more permanent structure that is put on the roof so that nothing now can ever enter the roof. The change is that from containment, you then go to correction, and we'll tell you that in 1 minute. Also inside, there were things that were burnt. There was books and things that got damaged. So what happens is the building had to get contained. The second stage is that you need all of those students, the materials that are good, or purchase of new materials, all of them had to move somewhere. And we found that Killingly Public Schools would allow us to use their administration building, the section or the wing of that building that was typically used for storage. We emptied it with the good work of our good men and women, our custodial maintenance staff, and with all the help that we had, that stage is also complete. They are in school, they go to school every day, we have worked out a transportation system. It is a burden on everyone. There are parents who know their children may be on the bus 50 minutes rather than 35 minutes, but they also understand that the school they're attending is 15 minutes outside of town. So there's been a wonderful cooperative response on the part of parents, understanding that we're doing the best we can. The morning is a relay where they all come on the regular bus. They always would have gone on. They get on with their brothers and sisters. They come on the same bus for PCS. When they get to the middle school, 5 buses are waiting, and they just relay them directly there. That means that they start approximately 30 minutes later. They end 30 minutes later. That also means they get home a little darker, but not as dark as Shepherd Hill and Moosip. So again, the parents are being responsive to the fact that that's the best we could do. On the way coming home, however, you cannot do that with 5 buses. We need 9 buses because the children don't go to one site, they go to 350 sites. And so you're really running the run that you have to have. So the second stage was transitioning, and as you heard tonight, there was a cost for that. There'll be a continuing cost for the transportation, but we believe that'll be well under the $500,000, more closer to $400,000. There are 2 other stages left. The next one is demolition. And I know that your chair had the opportunity to go in and actually take some photos. And the building that had fire damage, that had to be demolished. As I said, there's a roof that is now contained, but no company just makes 3 of the existing beams, which normally would be 24 to 48 beams holding up a flat roof such as this. So they can't replace the exact same beam. They are using an I-beam, which is much stronger than the beams we currently had. They are more costly, but for 3 more costly beams, It's much less cost than trying to replicate beams that no company makes them only in isolated numbers such as 3. So we're very pleased to hear that that section of the roof, we can put cars on top of. There will be I-beams going across. And once they do that, the original company that put our roof on a little over 2 years ago will come back and re-roof the section. A warranty will not be voided. So that goes from demolition first, which was to get rid of those beams. That had to be done. The next phase will be reconstruction. Inside of the building, there were 2 rooms that, if you saw any of the pictures, they were burnt, they were charred, the doors were charred. Those have all been gutted, and then in the last week, they actually did what's called soda blasting. They blasted all the cinder block. The cinder block absorbs things that happen from a fire. The soda blasting clears everything. There's no paint, there's nothing. It gets right down to the core, and there's nothing that would be a carcinogen or anything else left. So they were in the demolition stage, and I'm pleased to tell you that 90% or more of the demolition space is done. An exciting element is that they said to Mrs. Hutchinson, you now have 2 rooms that are empty, and you had a section that was a workroom that's empty, and we have a library as well. The library has been cleaned and gutted in the rugs. Do you really want it to look like that again? And she's like, no. You mean I could have that reconstructed? Absolutely. So one of the benefits is, why reconstruct 2 little rooms if you can make that now a more usable space? So she's actually getting the opportunity to work with the design artist at the same cost it would have costed, because they have to replace it. And the issue is, why replace the exact same thing if you can do it more effective for the learning of children? So they're looking at that redesign. We're actually in the phase, we are past containment, we are past transition, we are past the demolition, we are into reconstruction, and it's the beginning of October. So do I think we'll be done by December? I do, because I'm an optimist. So I believe we will be done. In that reconstruction is also recovery, so it's really 2 words. The recovery is, there was $50,000 in books. That's all going to be covered under the insurance. So today, I got the call from Mrs. Martin saying, I just finished the last coating of the last book that we had that's being tossed. So in the entire collection now has been coated, and once you coat it with the scanner, that scan Follett just takes that and replicates the book for you. And we have a replacement cost, not a depreciation cost. So you're going to get it replaced. If they give you new books, they give you new books. If they give you the same edition because they happen to have those, you'll get that. But you're getting a replacement cost for what you had. And in most cases, those will be new. In fact, we've received at least 2, if not 3, sizable donations that people want to embellish and enhance that library for our students. So they're coming back to not only a refreshed library collection, but they're also coming back to $1,500 from the Lions, another $1,000 from another agency, and a potential as much as $10,000 from a private philanthropic foundation that wants to see that library revitalized. We also went on TV and heard that there are the Carpenter brothers, which are now, because they want to demonstrate who they are and what they do, they're looking for a library to reconstruct. So we're hopeful we can get a proposal into them, and maybe they'll help come and design the inside of that. That's a wish list. The other stuff is all being done pursuant to the fact that we had a loss. The remainder of the building, they're going through every single tile that, they didn't look like this because they were those like acoustic tiles, but every single tile in that building where there was any water damage was replaced. Second floor where it burned, first floor where it rained, the water came right through. Those are all gutted. We have full access to what's underneath those tiles. We wish we could convince people while they're open to really redo the HVAC duct vents. We didn't know if it would be 50,000 or 150. If it was 50,000, it is something that we could actually ask for a petition. But we can't get that answer fast enough. We're going to need them to close up that building and get the children back in. When the town is ready, think about it. A building with 40-year-old heating systems is going to be reopened brand new. It'll still have a 40-year-old heating system in it. And that's a huge cost. That cost for that building alone would realm about $2 million to start really thinking about PCS and PMS and rethinking of all of that. The estimate we got on the entire district, with the exception of the high school because it's 10 years old, was approximately 8 to 10 million. We believe we probably could do it for 5 to 7, but still it's a sizable responsibility. So the heating system is not a recoverable because it was not substantively damaged. We're at the point now where all the books that were in classrooms that could have been damaged on the 9th of this week, all the teachers from Memorial School spent the morning in workshops and the afternoon. They went over to Memorial School. Actually, they went to the gymnasium alone, and in the gymnasium there was tape, and the tape said 201, and the 201 teacher went and said, none of this is salvageable. Get rid of it, and she took a log, and she knows that everything that has to be replaced. So every teacher who may have lost something in their classroom, school or personal, whatever, was given the chance to go in on the 9th. After the 9th, dumpsters come in. That's today, and that goes. That means we're at the point where there's nothing left in the rooms that needed to be kept. There are some good rooms, by the way. Every room was not fully damaged. Every room did not lose its furniture. So there are many of them, but there's also many that were. And they're in the stage right now of starting to say, we're putting everything back. The walls will be painted. It will be completely clean to the point that we will get a certificate of occupancy that says there will be no odor ever in its entirety. From the time that we have that building, that certification will last with us. There will never be a residual smell or effect because of the fire. They will replace all the ceiling panels. They will replace the flooring as needed. They will redesign the area behind the library. They are repairing the sections of the cafeteria that got damaged. And virtually, we believe that not anymore before Thanksgiving, but by the second week of December, we do believe that it will be sufficiently completed that the teachers will be able to get in, have a chance to visit that, even with the children, to visit it before Christmas, knowing that they will come back and arrive after Christmas. And we will be working out with the faculty who, in August, they came on personal time to set up their classrooms, to find that on August 14th, their classrooms were destroyed. On August 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th, they came to Plainfield, to PMS Killingly, and they set up their classrooms. Granted, we gave them the money and the support, but it's still setting up an entire classroom creating. And now on January 2nd and 3rd, they have to come back and set up their classrooms, and we certainly understand and appreciate. So we're going to work out with them both an opportunity to either have the time on our time, compensation where we can, to give them that time to feel they've been respected for the challenge that we face. Faculty, administration, the students, and the families have all been wonderful through this process. We are well on track to being a restored school. We are up with it.
Fantastic.
I have to say that yesterday, Mr. Lucier and I had the opportunity to walk through that building, and it is looking more like the school that we knew. There's some more charred black doors in that area. It's really getting ready, so I'm very confident that we'll make it on time. New business, family support specialist.
So I'm going to allow her to get ready. I need to give you the intro so you know. In our strategic planning, one of the things this board has continually asked for is improved communication and engagement of families in the community, transparency and openness. And one of the areas where we feel that we needed to strengthen is in the family's first investigation of the possibility that their child may need extra help. We call that a special education system. When families are first engaged in that, they enter into a very formal structure of what's called a planning and placement team. They get a lot of paperwork, they get a lot of acronyms. They come in with the fear of their child, will their child be successful? They don't know all of the information, and as kind and as personable and professional as our staff are, what we've seen in the past, my last 7 years here, and because of work I had done in another district, I had suggested through our strategic plan that we think about trying to provide additional support to families who are engaged in this kind of process as we care about them in PTOs and everything else. What you're going to hear from Mrs. Lugaskis is that we found some grant dollars. We always thank Rena Cadro, who is our grant coordinator, for finding some of that money. We have some additional monies that we saved through some reductions of staff that we were able to set aside. And the fact that even we have a special ed director, this is a special ed program, and from August, September, and October, we right now have not replaced. So the monies that were saved, not new monies, not putting an added burden on the budget, what we're able to do is to design a position that we believe, and I'm going to have Mrs. Lugasis explain what she is hoping to do through this program and what we have defined, a way in which families will have a voluntary option to seek support, not as an advocate, a person who is our liaison, our person who's willing to help any family who wishes to have their support, and how we think we may be able to help them. So with that, let me reintroduce you to Colleen Lugaskis, who's not alone.